Dupont de Ligonnès murders. France's unsolved family vanishing act. In April 2011, Agnes Dupont de Ligonnès and her 4 children, Arthur, 20, Thomas, 18, and 16, and Benoit, 13, along with the family's 2 dogs, were found buried under the patio of their home in Nantes, France. All had been drugged and shot execution-style with a .22 rifle, in what investigators described as a methodical execution. Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès, the family patriarch and a descendant of French aristocracy, vanished around the time of the murders. Evidence points to him as the perpetrator, driven by financial desperation and shame over mounting debts, though some family members dispute this. As of 2026, the case remains unsolved. Xavier is still wanted under an international arrest warrant, with over 900 reported sightings dismissed as false leads. Theories range from suicide to a new life abroad, but no body or confirmed location has been found. While evidence leans toward Xavier's guilt, debates persist about DNA matches, the feasibility of the burials, and alternative theories like external involvement or a staged disappearance. The case has sparked widespread public fascination and media scrutiny in France. The Dupont de Ligonnès family appeared as a picture of upper-middle-class normalcy in Nantes, a historic city in western France known for its riverside charm and cultural heritage. Xavier, born into minor aristocracy with ties to poets and bishops, projected an image of success as a businessman, though his ventures were often vague and unprofitable. Agnes, a devoted Catholic and school assistant, was the emotional anchor, raising their 4 children in a strict yet loving environment. The kids, Arthur, the tech-savvy eldest, Thomas, the quiet musician, and the faithful daughter, and Benoit, the young altar boy, attended private schools and participated in church activities, fostering a sense of community empathy for their tragic fate. Research suggests the killings unfolded over several days in early April 2011, with Xavier allegedly drugging and shooting his family members in their sleep to avoid confrontation. Financial ruin seems the likely trigger, as Xavier's debts piled up from failed businesses and loans from friends. The act was premeditated. He inherited a rifle, bought silencers and supplies like lime and shovels, and even practiced shooting. Police were alerted by concerned neighbors after the house went silent. The breakthrough came on April 21, 2011, when bodies were unearthed during a welfare check. Clues included a fabricated letter claiming the family entered U.S. witness protection, Xavier's traceable southern journey, and abandoned car. Red herrings like the letter delayed action, but breakthroughs in forensics confirmed the execution-style deaths. It seems likely Xavier fled or died by suicide, but family members like his sister Christine argue innocence, citing inconsistencies in body identifications. Recent leads, such as a 2025 Malta IP trace, have proven inconclusive, adding to the uncertainty. Imagine this, a quiet spring morning in Nantes, France, where the Loire River winds lazily through the city, and upscale townhouses line boulevards shaded by blooming trees. It's April 21, 2011, and police officers, responding to worried neighbors' calls about a suspiciously shuttered home at 55 Boulevard Robert Schumann, notice something off: a patch of fresh cement under the back patio, still slightly damp in the cool air. As they dig, the earth gives way to horror. 5 bodies, wrapped in sheets and dusted with lime, buried in shallow graves alongside 2 beloved family dogs. This isn't just any family, it's the Dupont de Ligonnès, a seemingly perfect clan from aristocratic roots, wiped out in what would become one of France's most baffling and obsessive true crime sagas. But the father, Xavier, is nowhere to be found. Did he orchestrate this nightmare and vanish into thin air? Or is there something even darker at play? Let's dive in, step by step, like we're unraveling this together over a late-night podcast episode. Picture Nantes in 2011, a vibrant, historic city of about 300,000, famous for its castles, art scene, and that understated French elegance. It's the kind of place where families like the Dupont de Ligonnès blend right in, comfortable, devout, and discreet. Xavier Pierre-Marie Dupont de Ligonnès, born in 1961 in Versailles to a lineage tracing back to poets like Alphonse de Lamartine and even bishops, carried the weight of that aristocracy lightly, or so it seemed. At 50, he was a tall, distinguished man with a courteous demeanor, often described by neighbors as polite but distant. He ran vague businesses, like Selref, a company that hired salespeople only to let them go quickly, and another US-linked venture called NetSurf Concept LLC. But behind the facade, Xavier was drowning in debt, borrowing from friends, family, and even a mistress who later sued him for €50,000. The shame must have been crushing for a man raised in privilege, where failure wasn't an option. His wife, Agnes Hodanger, 48, was the heart of the home. A deeply religious Catholic, she worked as an assistant at a local school, teaching catechism and attending Mass daily. Friends remembered her as kind, strict with the kids, but always warm, someone who'd bake treats for church events or offer a listening ear. Yet, in a 2004 online forum post on Doctissimo, she hinted at cracks in the marriage. Xavier had once said that if the whole family died together, it wouldn't be a catastrophe. Was that a red flag, or just dark humor? Agnes seemed to brush it off, but it lingers now like a chill in the air. The children were the picture of youthful promise. Arthur, 20, an IT student and part-time waiter, outgoing and tech-savvy. Thomas, 18, a quiet music major at a Catholic university in Angers, boarding during the week, and 16, sharing her mother's faith and approachable charm, and Benoit, 13, an altar boy at St. Felix Church, full of boyish energy. They had 2 Labradors, Leon and Jules, who were like family members, playful shadows in their upscale townhouse. This family evoked instant empathy, devout, close-knit, the kind you'd wave to on Sunday walks. But beneath it, tension simmered, financial strain, Xavier's secretive work trips, and Agnes's quiet complaints to friends about his aggression. Now, let's get to the heart of the darkness, the crime itself. It wasn't a frenzied attack, it was cold, calculated, unfolding over days like a slow-building storm. Investigators believe it started in late March 2011, when Xavier inherited a .22 long rifle from his late father. He got a firearms license in February, bought bullets on March 12, and visited a shooting range 4 times between March 26 and April 1. He even took Thomas and Benoit shooting, framing it as family bonding. Arthur was next on the list. Then came the supplies, 4 10-kilogram bags of lime on April 2, bin liners, paving slabs, cement, a shovel, and a hoe from various hardware stores, as if to avoid suspicion. Vivid, right? Imagine Xavier, calm-faced, loading these into his Citroën C5, knowing their grim purpose. April 3, a Sunday, felt eerily normal. The family, minus Thomas, who was at school, dined out and caught a movie. Neighbors saw Agnes that day, perhaps waving goodbye as she walked the dogs. But at 10:37 p.m., Xavier left a voicemail for his sister Christine, "I'm going to put the kids to sleep." Innocent words, but in hindsight, they send shivers. That night or early April 4, autopsies suggest, Agnes was killed first. Her sleep apnea machine stopped at 3 a.m. She was shot twice in the head while asleep, no drugs in her system, maybe caught mid-dream. Arthur, and Benoit followed, drugged with sleeping pills to ensure silence, each executed with precision. The dogs, too, shot and buried with them. Suspense builds here. Did the kids sense anything? Friends texted them, no replies. Dogs howled for 2 nights, then quiet. Thomas was the outlier, adding a heartbreaking layer. On April 4, Xavier dined with him near Angers. Witnesses noted tense silence, Thomas unwell. The next day, Xavier called Thomas home, claiming Agnes had a cycling accident. Thomas spent the afternoon with a friend, playing music, seeming fine, but texted later he was ill. He arrived home that evening, likely drugged and shot soon after. Why separately? Maybe to avoid alerting him. By April 7, Xavier was seen loading heavy bags into his car, bodies, perhaps? The house was partially emptied, lease terminated, bank accounts closed. No blood traces anywhere, Xavier cleaned meticulously, like erasing a life. Psychologically, this screams desperation mixed with detachment. Xavier's motivations? Financial ruin. He couldn't face the humiliation of bankruptcy for his aristocratic name. Shame ate at him, borrowing from a mistress, pyramid-like schemes crumbling. Emotions ran deep. Agnes might have felt trapped, confiding in friends about his temper. The kids, oblivious, trusted him utterly. Imagine their confusion if they woke. Investigators felt the weight. One prosecutor called it a Nantes massacre, evoking community outrage. Neighbors whispered, schools worried, empathy turned to horror as details emerged. The investigation kicked off with red herrings that kept everyone guessing. On April 11th, a typed letter arrived for family and friends. Xavier claimed he'd been a covert DA agent, and the family was relocating to the US under witness protection. Spread rumors of Australia, he instructed. It bought time. People disposed of items as asked. But neighbors grew suspicious. The house shuttered, no dogs barking. Police visited multiple times, finally digging on April 21st after spotting wet cement. Breakthrough, bodies confirmed via autopsies, drugged, shot, buried in 2 graves, Thomas separate. Clues piled up. Xavier's car found in Rocrune-sur-Argens, southern France. Hotel stays under his name from April 11th to 15th, ATM withdrawals on CCTV. He walked into the woods on April 15th, bag in hand, last sighting. Twists kept coming, over 800 tips, including a 2015 photo of the Suns with "I'm still alive" scrawled, unexplained. False arrests, like 2019 in Glasgow, wrong man, or 2018 monastery raid, doppelganger. Theory swirled, suicide in the mountains, searches found nothing, boat escape to South America or the US, even family denial, Christine claimed bodies mismatched, DNA uncompared, Xavier incapable due to health issues. Community impact? Massive, 1,400 at the April 28 funeral, cremated remains buried in Neuilly-sur-Seine. Media frenzy spawned documentaries, Netflix's House of Terror, and cyber investigators online, debating everything from religious motives, Xavier's aggressive forum posts, to cult ties, his mother's group. France gripped, shock at how an ordinary family vanished, empathy for the victims' stolen futures, frustration at the Manhunt's failures. As of 2026, resolution eludes us, Xavier's international warrant active, but no closure. Recent leads, like a 2025 Malta IP ping or convent sightings in 2024, fizzled. Is he dead, haunted by guilt in some remote cave? Or alive, reinvented abroad, his sadistic intelligence shielding him? The broader impact, France's obsession highlights how financial shame can shatter lives, sparking discussions on mental health, debt, and media ethics. Families like the DupontDeLigonnès remind us, behind closed doors, darkness can lurk. If you've got theories, drop them. This case keeps us all guessing.